When you think about everybody that is a part of the Democratic Party as far as really having a position or the ability to run for a position, ask yourself this question. And I'm going to pose this on After Hours, I think, tonight. We'll see. We'll see. Do you guys think that there are any more masculine men within the Democratic Party? Let me say that again for the people in the back. Do you guys think that there are any more masculine men inside of the Democratic Party?
Is he right?
For my ladies, here's my question. If you are not in a relationship or you are in a relationship, do you want your man, and would you prefer a man that is conservative or liberal, and why? Would you want a man and advocate for a man that is liberal, Democrat, hardcore, followed, and then wind up following his mama to the polls, and then vote for Kamala Harris? Lowe said he think that women are more masculine than the men right now. T. Baker says political views don't make you a man. I beg to differ. I believe that that is absolutely positively false, because the thing that you vote for and the thing that you stand for is a reflection of your beliefs. It's a reflection of how you move. 100%. If you tell me, T. Baker, that your woman is equal to you, and just because she's a woman, and that you go 50-50 and you believe in equal rights and equal work for equal pay and all of this other nonsense, if you don't think that that is a reflection of who you are as a person and what you espouse as far as your values, if you don't add some context to that in order to clean that up, I would absolutely positively say that that is a reflection of who you are as a man. 100%. How you believe is how you vote. How you vote is what you stand for. How is that not a reflection of who you are as a man? Impossible that you just said that to me. Well, let's deep dive into the Democratic Party, because they definitely had some things to say, and they definitely had some things that they wanted to share about masculinity within the Democratic Party. This is a CNN panel, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel with turning on notifications. Let's rock.
Is he right?
I mean, Eric Adams is still a Democrat-ish, right?
He does put. You think he's masculine?
No, he's buff for 63 years old. I was going to say Obama. When they said right away who's the most. Now, he's slim, but he's athletic. He plays ball.
But is he right that Republican? Well, first of all,
I'm not even sure if these guys even know what masculinity is. Does masculinity has anything to do with whether or not you slim and you wear Obama jeans? You wear the mom jeans? I don't think that that has anything to do with it whatsoever. I know guys that are masculine that wear a suit. I know there's guys that masculine that wear a uniform into the plant. What are they? Where are they finding these people on CNN? And why can't they even answer the question? I don't think that masculinity has anything to do with the thing that they're defining it as on this panel right now. But let's see what they got to say, and let's play it by ear.
Let me just show you the numbers, because actually the numbers maybe do suggest this. For young men under the age of 29, the swing from 2020 to 2024 in Trump's favor is pretty significant. 40.
All right, T. Baker. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right. Here, help me to understand it. If you want to come up, you can. Help me to understand how that doesn't make sense. Help me to understand, T. Baker, how who you vote for does not play a role in whether or not you're masculine as a man. Link is in the chat, T. Baker, for you to be able to have your conversation. I want to know what you think.
9 to 48, Trump to Harris, it's almost tied with young men. Trump did very well with young people relative to what he normally does. There's something going on here.
No, and sure. I mean, this was why, Joe Rogan was so influential in this campaign. Joe Rogan has an audience mostly of young men. There was this whole big drama about whether Kamala Harris was going to give an interview to him, wound up not doing it. I think is probably a mistake, although it probably didn't affect the outcome of the election. But I mean, I think, that guy said was pretty dumb, but it is not it is not true. It is true that Democrats have a problem, especially with young men. I mean, that is a real fact.
So to me, that in a way it validates what Clay Travis is talking about, because if you're trying to get young men, you're not going to get them on all policy points and all the no. Joe Rogan knows karate, and sometimes he talk about drugs. That's good enough for me. Pete Hegseth was in Germany this week doing squats with like 220 on the bar outside for no reason. That's what the Democrat. I'm being silly, but
and you know what?
Serious.
One of the other points that Clay Travis made, and I think this is true. We saw this in real time when Trump had the assassination attempt in Butler. That image of him raising his fist and saying "fight, fight, fight" was like a shot of testosterone in the arms of a lot of men. Mark Zuckerberg was like, "Oh my God, he's so cool."
And
now look at where we are politically with some of these very people really turning politically toward Trump.
Those numbers that you just read, it's been happening for 10 years. This has been happening slowly but surely over time. I think that pollster in that clip earlier had said 2 out of 6 moderate men voted for Trump. It was the majority of moderate men voted for Trump. Even over 20% of liberal men voted for Trump. There has been what is seen as I don't want to say a war on masculinity, but there has been this trend in the Democratic Party, or it's at least felt that the left is becoming more and more hostile to the things that are typically men. And you've seen John Fetterman talk about this idea of like patronizing, calling them bros, or that ad that looked like a spoof at the end of the race of like real men do this. It's like, have you ever talked to a dude in your life? So in James Carville saying, we need to have less like yappy voices and more men talking. And there are many men in the Democratic Party.
Democratic messaging is too feminine. But Carrie, what do you think is the masculinity that they are attracted to in Trump?
I'm laughing because I just, no disrespect to you lovely men on this panel.
We do have
but you men are something. That's all, you men are something. And I can see the appeal of Donald Trump being a very strong masculine man. And I can see him winning over men, because I do agree the Democratic Party for all intent and purpose felt like a place for the others. And they tried to take on every issue that the Republicans didn't want. If you want to talk about trans, come here. If you want to talk about LGBTQIA, come here. If you want to talk about men and women, in sports, come here. There were all of these things that I felt men wanted to say felt emasculating. It felt like, I'm not with that. I don't believe in that. And I'm going to go over here because they're saying what I'm thinking.
And the abortion issue played a role in that. I mean, I think they did a political calculation.
And I think no one cared about abortion.
The big thing.
I think no one cared about it. I think everyone thought that was the issue. And when it was all said and done at the end of the day.
So wait a minute. Y'all literally campaigned before Kamala Harris even became the Democratic nominee for president of the United States of America. Earlier in the campaign, before election season even kicked off, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was crisscrossing the country in order to tackle women's rights. That is a fact. Now they want to sit here and gaslight me and say, well, nobody even cared about that. Man, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Dog, I had men. Men were coming up on the panel. Men were coming up on the panel and they were telling me, Anton, on Monday nights, I said, bro, what is it that you like about the Democrats right now? He said, I want to stand up for women's rights. I said, what do you mean you want to stand up for women's rights? I said, you got a daughter? You got a wife? No, I just think it's something that we need to pay attention to. Molly says something, not this last live stream last night, but on Tuesday. We were having an argument, really, and that's why After Hours is so awesome, and y'all need to tap into After Hours tonight. We were having an argument, and Molly said that she believes because we were talking about men that paint their fingernails in order to get a contract, an NIL deal in college. And Molly said, listen, y'all are turning y'all sons gay. Y'all are pushing this feminist agenda, and it is turning y'all sons sassy. They don't have no strong male presence in their life. They don't know what adversity feels like. I see more men every single day on these applications, and they're crying. When I woke up this morning, I actually opened up TikTok. It said that it was not available in the Google Play and the Apple Store. But I think that masculinity is starting to come back, and people identify with Trump, and they say we want to be like, and we want to be around a man's man. And guess what? We was supporting Trump when it wasn't popular to do so, and everybody was going against us. But I'm just telling you, bro, they are driving masculinity out of our society and out of our culture. They are driving masculinity. They say support the alphabet community. They say men can use women's bathrooms. They say that we're going to gentle parent. I see women often at times raising super feminine children that wind up being son husbands. Masculinity has been driven out of society for so long that people are now revolting against it. And y'all think it's an attack on y'all. No, it's an attack on a culture. 100%. And these people don't know what they're talking about, including this woman right here.
I'm not saying I don't care about abortion, but what I'm saying is when Kamala made that one of her huge talking points, when Michelle campaigned for her, that was a huge talking point. And then in my mind, I'm all like, well, what happened to these people? I knew that people would be upset about that. And it felt as if it didn't matter, although it does. It felt as if it didn't matter because the conversation about manly men, as we just saw that young man say on the panel, or what is his name again?
Clay Travis.
Yeah, I knew
Clay
that.
Let me tell you what I literally seen Billy Porter. I was talking to Mika on the phone yesterday, and we was talking about setting up the show and stuff like that. And Mika said, remember when Billy Porter was dancing next to Biden on the White House lawn? And that was the vision that Biden and the White House was trying to show us. Let me see if I can find it. Billy Porter, White House. This is it. I remember this. I'll never forget it. When I seen this, it was Kamala Harris, Billy Porter, Kamala's husband, all of them. And I seen them dancing on the White House lawn. I will never forget it. Y'all said, is she trans? Ain't no she. That's a biological man. What you talking about? All the way over there to the left. This was literally right after the writer's strike. And Billy Porter's house was in foreclosure. And this is what they were showing on TV. And they got Kirk Franklin, the one up there singing. Billy Porter has on heels, one of the tallest people out there. Biden is frozen up there. Kamala Harris is dancing. Dougie is looking stupid because that ain't even his culture. And they got these chairs on the White House lawn having a concert with Kirk Franklin. But you. I don't want to love nobody but you. Joe Biden. Oh my God. Look at what we had in the White House, y'all. look at what we had in the White House. That is a corpse. That is literally a corpse. Look at what we had in the White House. We had Billy Porter dancing next to Kamala and Biden on the White House, and y'all telling me that this wasn't an assault on masculinity. Lord, forgive us. Forgive us for what we did these last 4 years. Forgive us for following women to the polls. Honestly, we need to repent as a country for giving in to the things that we see right now. It was disaster. Yo, last 4 years was miserable. It was one of the most miserable times of people's lives. Real talk. 4 years of misery. It was misery. Y'all don't even know how bad it was. It was bad. It was bad. It was 4 years of misery. Misery. We was out here getting our heads cracked in as masculine men. Good God. Do y'all know what we went through over the last 4 years? For a lot of people, it was the worst times of their life. You had the vid. It was a lot of people that died from that manufactured Wuhan vid. We had migrants coming over here. It was so much sassiness and diversity, equity, and inclusion. I said, oh my God. Jesus, look at this. Got to go before an appeal board. Legal notice. They don't want to approve how big I want to build my house, this house on.